Hello everyone, my name is Andre Harris and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a game that is causing shockwaves across the gaming industry. Marvel Rivals is not just a game, it is a statement, a disruption, and potentially one of the most exciting things to happen in live service gaming in a long time. Now, I know some of you might think that sounds like hyperbole, but trust me, by the end of this video, you will see why this game is turning heads and challenging everything we thought we knew about live service games. And before we get into the details, let me remind you to check out my Twitch channel, Andre the Alpha. Over there, we explore all kinds of games with the same passion and intensity you see here. Whether it is breaking down strategies, diving into gameplay, or just having a blast with the community, it is the perfect place for all gaming enthusiasts. You do not want to miss it. Now, Marvel Rivals, let me set the stage for you. It has been 1 month since its launch, and unlike many other games in this space, it is showing no signs of slowing down. If anything, it is accelerating. While most live service games tend to see a sharp drop in player count after the initial release hype, Marvel Rivals is defying that trend. At launch, the game had over 450,000 concurrent players, and even a month later, it is holding steady at over 400,000. For perspective, other massive titles like Helldivers 2 saw their player base drop by 30% after the first month. Marvel Rivals just 9%. That is practically unheard of in this industry. So why is this game thriving while others falter? The answer is multifaceted, but it boils down to this. The developers are delivering what players want. Imagine that, a game that actually listens to its audience. It sounds almost revolutionary in today's gaming landscape, where so many studios seem content to churn out bare minimum updates and milk their player base for every last penny. Marvel Rivals is doing things differently. Let us talk content. In just 1 month, we are already getting a major update with the launch of Season 1. This update brings 4 new playable characters from the Fantastic Four, 2 at the start of the season, and 2 more later on. New maps like the Sanctum Sanctorum, Midtown, and Central Park are also being introduced, along with fresh game modes and objectives to keep things exciting. This is not just filler content. It is meaningful, well-designed additions that enhance the game and keep players engaged. What really sets Marvel Rivals apart, though, is the way the developers are handling community feedback. They are not just listening, they are acting. Balance issues fixed, underpowered characters like Cloak and Dagger buffed, overpowered characters like Hawkeye nerfed appropriately. The developers are constantly engaging with the community, addressing concerns and making improvements. It is a level of transparency and responsiveness that is sadly rare in this industry. And it is not just the updates that are making waves. Marvel Rivals is also thriving on social media and streaming platforms. When the game launched, it hit over 227,000 viewers on Twitch, and it is still averaging around 100,000 daily viewers. That is massive. YouTube is flooded with videos showcasing top plays, tier lists, and guides, while fan art and cosplays are taking over Twitter and Reddit. The buzz around this game is electric, and it is drawing in new players every single day. But it is not just about the numbers. Marvel Rivals is succeeding because it offers something for everyone. Casual players can jump into relaxed game modes without the pressure of ranked matches, while competitive players can grind the ladder and participate in tournaments. The game strikes a perfect balance, catering to a diverse audience and ensuring that everyone feels welcome. Now let us address the elephant in the room, the criticism. Some industry voices have argued that the game has too many heroes or lacks features like role queues found in other hero shooters. But here's the thing, those critiques miss the point entirely. The freedom to play any hero and adapt on the fly is one of Marvel Rivals' greatest strengths. It is what makes the game feel fresh and dynamic rather than restrictive and formulaic. Players are not pigeonholed into specific roles. They are free to experiment and have fun. That freedom is what sets this game apart from titles like Overwatch, which have struggled to balance competitive features with player enjoyment. Speaking of Overwatch, it is worth noting how Marvel Rivals is exposing the shortcomings of other live service games. While some studios are content to release minor updates and overpriced cosmetics, Rivals is delivering substantial content and respecting its players' time and investment. This is a game that values its community, and the community is responding in kind. Looking ahead, the future of Marvel Rivals is incredibly bright. Rumors are swirling about a potential player versus environment mode, which could bring an entirely new audience to the game. Imagine a cooperative mode where you and your friends team up to take on iconic Marvel villains or tackle story-driven missions. The possibilities are endless, and if the developers can deliver on this, It could be a game changer. This is the kind of ambition that is sorely lacking in many other live service games. Too often, we see studios resting on their laurels, cutting corners, and prioritizing profits over player satisfaction. But Marvel Rivals is proving that there is another way. It is showing that when you respect your players, listen to their feedback, and deliver meaningful content, you can create something truly special. In conclusion, Marvel Rivals is not just a game, it is a wake-up call for the entire industry. It is a reminder that gamers deserve better and that studios can and should do better. If you have not tried Marvel Rivals yet, now is the time. Join the millions of players who are experiencing what live service gaming can be when it is done right. Before I wrap up, let me remind you once again to check out my Twitch channel, Andre the Alpha. Whether you want to discuss Marvel Rivals, watch some gameplay, or just hang out, it is the perfect place to connect with me and the community that I would love to see you there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me and helps keep this channel going. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and keep gaming. Peace. Now let us go even deeper into the elements that are making Marvel Rivals stand out. Beyond the initial buzz and the consistent player retention, the design philosophy of this game deserves a closer look. Unlike other live service games that often feel like they are designed by committees focused on monetization, Marvel Rivals feels like it was created by people who genuinely love games. The attention to detail and character design, the seamless integration of lore, and the variety in gameplay mechanics all speak to a level of care that is becoming increasingly rare in the industry. Take the characters, for example. Each hero in Marvel Rivals feels unique, not just in terms of their abilities, but in how they fit into the larger Marvel universe. Whether you are playing as Spider-Man with his agile web slinging, or Storm with her powerful weather control, every character feels true to their comic book and cinematic roots. This authenticity is a big part of what makes the game so appealing to Marvel fans. It is not just about playing a game, it is about stepping into the shoes of your favorite heroes and living out your own Marvel adventure. And the maps, they are more than just backdrops for the action. Locations like the Sanctum Sanctorum and Central Park are brought to life with stunning detail, making them feel like characters in their own right. The developers have clearly put a lot of thought into how these environments contribute to the gameplay experience. Each map offers unique challenges and opportunities, encouraging players to adapt their strategies and keep the gameplay fresh. One of the most exciting things about Marvel Rivals is how it bridges the gap between casual and competitive gaming. For casual players, the game offers a fun and accessible experience where they can jump in, pick their favorite hero, and start having fun immediately. For competitive players, there is a robust ranked mode with plenty of opportunities to test their skills and climb the leaderboard. This dual appeal is a big reason why the game is attracting such a diverse player base. And then there is the social aspect. Marvel Rivals is thriving on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, not just because it is fun to play, but because it is fun to watch. The game's dynamic action and larger-than-life characters make it a perfect fit for streaming and content creation. This is not just a game, it is a spectacle, and that makes it incredibly engaging for both players and viewers. But what really sets Marvel Rivals apart is its community. The developers have done an excellent job of fostering a positive and inclusive environment where players feel valued. They are not just treating this as a one-and-done project. They are building a platform for ongoing engagement and growth. This commitment to the community is evident in everything from the frequent updates to the active presence of developers on social media. It is clear that they see their players as partners in the game's success, and that approach is paying off in a big way. As we look to the future, the potential for Marvel Rivals is limitless. The addition of new characters, maps, and game modes is just the beginning. The rumored player versus environment mode could open up entirely new possibilities, attracting even more players and further solidifying the game's place as a leader in the live service space. And with the game's momentum continuing to grow, it is hard to imagine anything slowing it down. Marvel Rivals has tapped into something special, a combination of nostalgia, innovation, and community engagement that feels almost magical. Let us take a moment to dive deeper into the character roster. One of the biggest strengths of Marvel Rivals is its ability to bring iconic characters to life in ways that feel authentic yet fresh. Each hero has a carefully crafted set of abilities that align with their powers and personality. For example, Spider-Man's web-slinging mechanics are not just a visual treat, they also create opportunities for unique gameplay strategies. You can swing across maps, trap enemies in webbing, and outmaneuver opponents with acrobatic ease. Similarly, Storm's weather-based powers allow her to control the battlefield, summoning lightning storms or creating gusts of gusts of wind to push enemies off objectives. The attention to detail here is phenomenal, and it shows like a deep respect for the source material. What makes this even more impressive is how accessible these characters are. You do not need to spend hours mastering complex mechanics to enjoy the game. The controls are intuitive, and the abilities are straightforward enough for new players to pick up quickly. At the same time, there is plenty of depth for experienced players to explore. This balance is a big part of why Marvel Rivals appeals to such a wide audience. It respects your time, whether you are a casual fan looking to have some fun or a hardcore gamer chasing the top of the leaderboards. Now, let us talk about the maps again because they deserve more attention. The level design in Marvel Rivals is top notch. Each map is not only visually stunning, but also designed with gameplay in mind. Take the Sanctum Sanctorum, for example. This iconic location from Doctor Strange's lore is filled with mystical artifacts, hidden pathways, and interactive elements that can turn the tide of battle. Players can use the environment to their advantage, creating a dynamic and ever-changing battlefield. Midtown and Central Park offer similarly engaging experiences, each with its own unique layout and strategic opportunities. The developers clearly understand that maps are not just arenas for combat, they are integral to the gameplay experience. A well-designed map can make battles feel more intense, strategic, and rewarding, and Marvel Rivals nails this aspect. The variety in map design also keeps the game feeling fresh, ensuring that players never get bored of the same old settings. Another standout feature of Marvel Rivals is its live service model. Unlike many other games in this space, which often feel like glorified cash grabs, Marvel Rivals genuinely feels like it was designed with players in mind. The developers have struck a balance between monetization and player satisfaction that is incredibly rare. Yes, there are microtransactions, but they are entirely optional and do not feel intrusive. More importantly, the game offers a wealth of free content, from new characters to maps and game modes. This approach not only keeps the player base happy, but also fosters a sense of trust and goodwill between the community and the developers. This trust is further reinforced by the developers' active engagement with the community. They are not hiding behind corporate walls. They are out there on social media forums and live streams, listening to feedback and making changes based on what players want. This level of transparency is refreshing, and it is a big reason why players feel so invested in the game. They know their voices are being heard, and that makes them more likely to stick around and support the game in the long term. Speaking of the long term, the future of Marvel Rivals looks incredibly bright. The rumored player versus environment mode is just one example of how the game could evolve. Imagine teaming up with friends to take on iconic Marvel villains in epic story-driven missions. The potential here is enormous, and it could open up the game to an entirely new audience. Cooperative gameplay has always been a big draw for many players, and adding this feature would make Marvel Rivals even more versatile and appealing. But even beyond new modes and features, the possibilities for expanding the character roster are virtually limitless. The Marvel Universe is filled with thousands of characters, each with their own unique powers and personalities. From fan favorites like Deadpool and Rogue to more obscure characters like Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl, there is no shortage of options for future updates. And let us not forget about alternate versions of existing characters like the Marvel Zombies or the Age of Apocalypse variants. These could add even more variety and excitement to the game. The sheer depth and richness of the Marvel Universe give the developers an incredible sandbox to play in, and they are clearly taking full advantage of it. Every new character, map, and mode feels like a celebration of Marvel's legacy, and that is what makes this game so special. It is not just a product, it is a love letter to Marvel fans. Now, let us address some of the criticisms that have been leveled at the game, because no discussion would be complete without looking at both sides. One common complaint is that the game has too many characters, which some argue makes it overwhelming for new players. While I understand where this sentiment comes from, I think it misses the point. Yes, the roster is large, but that is part of what makes the game so exciting. Players love having options, and the diversity of the roster ensures that everyone can find a hero they connect with. The game's accessible mechanics also make it easy to experiment with different characters without feeling intimidated. Another criticism is the lack of a role queue system, which some players feel makes it harder to coordinate in team-based matches. Again, I think this criticism misunderstands what makes Marvel Rivals unique. The freedom to play any hero and adapt on the fly is a core part of the game's appeal. It encourages creativity and flexibility, which are often stifled in more rigid role-based systems. If anything, the lack of a role queue makes the game more inclusive and approachable, allowing players to focus on having fun rather than worrying about fulfilling specific roles. In many ways, these criticisms highlight just how different Marvel Rivals is from other games in the genre. It is not trying to be another Overwatch or Apex Legends. It is carving out its own identity, and that is what makes it so compelling. The developers are not afraid to take risks and challenge conventional wisdom, and that boldness is paying off. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Marvel Rivals is not just a game, it is a reminder of what live service gaming can be when it is done right. It is a celebration of everything we love about Marvel, combined with innovative gameplay and a deep respect for the players. If you have not tried it yet, I cannot recommend it enough. Whether you are a lifelong Marvel fan or just someone looking for a fun and engaging game, Marvel Rivals has something for you. Before I go, let me remind you one more time to check out my Twitch channel, Andre the Alpha. It is the best place to connect with me and the community, and I would love to hear your thoughts on Marvel Rivals or any other games you are passionate about. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me and helps keep this channel going. Stay safe, stay strong, and as always, keep gaming. Peace.